and welcome back to another video on elimination communication. Today I'm sharing my experience of elimination communication with Elba from 3 months to 6 months. I've chosen to cover this time period because I already spoke about the newborn phase, and I feel like there were some shifts that happened from me doing more and getting out and about more, as well as from Elba after the newborn phase. I defined newborn as 0 to 3 months. And then again, now I want to make this video because yesterday she was 6 months old, but I've been feeling this week and last week that we're entering a new phase of elimination communication with her development and how things are changing, that we might start to do things similarly, but with some changes. So in this video, I'm covering 3 to 6 months, but it's more about what your baby is able to do developmentally and also where you are with postpartum. Your experience may be different in terms of when you want to start doing things a little bit differently. Right. So the newborn phase, I feel, is a lot about just starting elimination communication with your baby, building the habit of doing it, and then also you get quite a lot of catches in the newborn phase because they're going a lot. So that also builds your confidence in doing elimination communication. One of the changes that we already did in the newborn phase, I didn't only do it at 3 months, is we changed from the top hat potty to the potty that we currently use. Just note that this is a special baby potty. It is not like if you go to a baby shop and you buy a potty for potty training, it's going to be bigger than this. So if you are looking for a potty, just remember to buy a baby potty, like an infant potty, not a toddler potty. One of the biggest challenges that I had in the newborn phase was the discomfort of holding your baby on the potty because they're still so soft and they're not supporting their own body yet. Of course, that's not something that's a concern anymore because she can hold up her own back and her own head and all of that. Throughout the 3 to 6 month period, they do periodically and suddenly get a lot stronger. It's no longer difficult to hold her on the potty. It's more that I need to be aware that she's grabbing everything near the potty and that she might just fling herself off of it. So I need to focus at like, we're on the potty now. With that out of the way, I'm just gonna jump right into all of the practicalities for elimination communication from 3 to 6 months. So the first one, on my channel, I've got loads of cloth diaper videos. I do believe that cloth diapers really facilitates the elimination communication journey. The reason for that is I believe that elimination communication is an act to your baby where we're saying your diaper is not the toilet. It is a backup until such time as you can walk yourself to the toilet and use it. And until you can do that, I'm going to help you and put you on the potty at intervals and facilitate that learning. So because I believe that the diaper is a backup and not a toilet, I like using cloth diapers for a variety of reasons. But with disposable diapers, babies typically feel very dry, especially with the modern ones. They're really good at keeping the moisture away from your baby. But with elimination communication, it's beneficial for your baby to feel wet and not like that feeling. It helps them understand, oh, I don't want to go in the diaper. This is not a nice feeling for me. It also means that they often will wriggle when they're wet, letting us know that they've gone so that we can see, oh, okay, that's more or less when they go. If they're in a disposable diaper and they're not even noticing that they're wet, we might not get feedback, oh, they weed now. We might change their diaper like 3 hours later and not have realized that they weed like 2 hours ago. So with the cloth diaper, we are facilitating that feeling wet the same way we wouldn't want to be wearing wet pants is not a nice feeling. And we'll also know more or less when they've gone because there will be some signs to change the diaper. It does become, I guess, a little bit more challenging at this age because she's wriggly in general, but in the newborn phase, whenever she was wet, she would wriggle. So I knew to change her diaper immediately. Now the world is very exciting and she's doing a lot more. So wiggling and wriggling does not necessarily mean wet diaper. But many times when either my husband and I have been holding her, she's sort of squirming and we're not really sure what it is, we click, oh right, diaper. And we usually check and it's usually wet. So that is indicating to us that she still is bothered by a wet diaper. It's just not as easy to recognize it as it is in the newborn phase. This might be a very small thing, so if cloth diapering is going to be a major hindrance for you to do elimination communication, obviously I don't think it's a make or break, but I think it's a small thing in the general journey, and doing lots of little things for me with elimination communication is more what it's about. Anyway, I also think it's good for the environment. and good for baby. So I'm a cloth diaper fan. Now that being said, if you are cloth diapering, you can watch my videos about this. I really recommend picking one that works for your elimination communication journey, and that may be different than the cloth diaper that a mom prefers that's not doing elimination communication. Because what you're prioritizing is being able to get it off one-handed when you're putting them on the potty. For elimination communication, especially the more we catch, the less concerned we are about how absorbent it is, and the more concerned we are with how quickly can I get it on and off. So a big thing that I've liked for my cloth diapers is, and I didn't think that I would like this, but I do like it, is Velcro. I prefer Velcro cloth diapers over press stud cloth diapers. The other thing that I've been considering is that I sometimes use a fleece liner in my cloth diapers. Now, I'm going back and forth as to whether this impacts her feeling wet, because the fleece will move the moisture away from her body. I haven't necessarily noticed a difference with this, but I'm going to carry on experimenting with it and see whether I want to maybe stop using the fleece liners. Let me just experiment more with that and then get back to you. Next practical thing, what does baby wear? In the newborn phase, I dressed my newborn like a newborn. She wore vests and sleepers pretty much all the time. After the newborn phase, I switched it up. She wears vests pretty much all the time, short sleeve, long sleeve. This is a thermal one if it's a little bit more cold outside. And then on the bottom, she doesn't wear sleepers anymore. On the bottom, she'll either wear tights or pants, or my favorite is little baby leg warmers. These are the easiest things for me to be able to get off. Leg warmers, of course, are the best because I don't have to take them off. I just open up the vest, and she doesn't get put in any kind of cute, impractical outfit unless I'm really just doing it for a photo, and to be honest, I don't really even do that. So I pick what she wears based off of, well, the material, because I'm fussy about that, but how practical is it for me to be able to take it off quickly, put her on the potty. Next practical thing, one of the major uses that for birth, we had a home birth. I bought a bunch of reusable absorbent mats, 4 to be specific, and we love doing diaper free time for Elba, and those absorbent mats have just been the best thing. Here's one of them. Oh, it's your potty. We pretty much use them every single day, multiple times a day. I use them for her to do diaper free time here on this mat and also on our bed. Now, they weren't that big of a deal in the newborn phase because she wasn't moving that much. So the little diaper free mat that you can get from the diaper free company was more than sufficient. But now she is rolling, she's like pulling herself all over the place. Actually, now towards where we are now, I might have to change those up for something bigger like a play mat, but for 3 to 6 months, they have been amazing. But what I will say here, and this is going to be a reoccurring theme throughout this video, there are some things that I do that is not necessarily perfectly in line with the diaper-free book, or maybe how other people say that elimination communication should be done. And that's because in those moments, I might be prioritizing something else above doing elimination communication in a way that somebody else has said that it needs to be done. And I'm a big advocate for we're supposed to be doing this in a way that works for us and our baby. Now, one of those is the way that we do diaper free time, which may be considered, according to some people, as irresponsible diaper free time. Firstly, we do it a lot, like many times a day. She is diaper free. The only reason she's not diaper free right now is because I'm filming this and I don't want to put little sensors over this. I'm not doing that necessarily for any kind of elimination communication goal. For me, it's so that all of her bits can breathe regularly and she can have the freedom of movement without a diaper. But at the same time, I am EC responsible in the sense that if she's on the mat, I do try to watch for signs to see if I should put her on the potty to wee or to poop. And if she does wee or poop on the absorbent mat, I will make the sounds, I will put her on the potty, and then I'll clean it up immediately. So I'm still facilitating that through making the sounds and putting her on the potty. I'm not just leaving it when she wees on the absorbent mat. What is nice about a lot of diaper free time is that you do typically see how often your baby goes. And realistically, at this age with wees, sometimes there is nothing on her face that indicates that she's going to wee. So what I've experienced when we watch a lot of people doing elimination communication, we might become despondent thinking, my baby makes no signs when they wee, and think that that other person's baby is making loads of signs. I don't know what that other person's baby is doing, but what I will tell you is I have watched Elba and I watch her a lot, and we do a lot of diaper free time Sometimes there is zero change in her facial expression or body language when she's weeing. I will be staring straight at her, deeply focused on her, and she will wee, and I will not have seen a change. But other times, there are signs when she's going to wee. Sometimes it will just be a bit more of a concentration phase that she's got going on. Sometimes it will she'll be playing, and then suddenly stop. That will be a bit of a wee phase. But that's not all the time. So if your baby is not making signs or doing something every time they want to wee, just telling you, we're part of that club too. But most of the time with poop, there's more signs for poop. But I'll get to poop in a bit. I just want to conclude the Absorbent mat things. They are amazing for 0 to 3 months. They are amazing for tummy time. They are amazing because I don't have designated these are baby places and these aren't. So I grab them, take them with me, and that's what she can lie on and play on. I even take them when I go out the house for her to do diaper free time under a tree. Okay, back to poop. The newborn phase really built up my confidence with catching poops because they go so much that you're gonna get many of them. Also, their awake window is pretty small, so to catch it was pretty easy just by offering Potty straight after she napped. From 3 months to where we are now, 6 months, the frequencies of poops have periodically decreased. So we went from about 7, sometimes even more poops in a day to 3 or 4 in a day for a month, and then down to where we are now, which is between 1 to 2, sometimes 3, but rarely. And also, she's awake a lot longer, playing, doing things. So of course, I'm catching poop less often. Now your confidence with EC can take a knock over there, but just remember, consistency is key. Just keep offering Potty. It's fine if you don't catch all of them. If you start to feel useless at elimination communication, just keep consistent with the times that you've decided to offer Potty, and I'm sure that it will come back around. I just try to always remind myself that my goal is not for Elba to be diaper free at a specific age. I know that loads of people title their video that my child is diaper free by whatever age. That is not why I'm doing elimination communication. Now, the reason I don't have a goal for she must be diaper free by that time is that's going to put a lot of pressure on her. That's going to put a lot of pressure on me. If I'm stressing or feeling like I'm putting so much weight on whether or not she's going in a potty, she's going to feel that. And this is going to be a bit of an unpleasant experience for both of us. I like to keep it light. I like to keep it respectful. I like to keep it connected. And mostly I like to not focus on the outcome. For me, it's more of the process. So if I'm having a lot of misses, I will maybe examine my process. Is there things that we need to change up? Is there things that I want to do differently? But there's no panic. There's no pressure. I don't want to lose the joy of this experience with her because I'm so fixated on getting a specific number of things in the potty. So let's talk about the consistency with the transition potty offering times. The biggest one for me is still as soon as she wakes up. As soon as she wakes up and is fully awake, obviously I'm first connecting with her and then I'll be like, all right, let's do the potty, take it off, offer potty. This is still our most consistent poop catches in the morning and sometimes wee catches as well. Another one is that she will go shortly-ish after a feed because input becomes output. This is more likely a wee than a poop. So if we've done a feed, I will generally keep it in my mind for maybe 10, 15 minutes later to check diaper and offer. In the newborn phase, she used to do a lot of the nursing poops. As soon as they're nursing, they start pooping. This has become less and less as time has gone on, but it still sometimes happens. And I just want to explain how I chose to go about it in the 3 to 6 month phase when this did happen. So like what I said earlier, this is one of those times that something else takes priority for me above getting it in the potty. There are various strategies that you can go about when this is happening if you really want to get it in the potty. Some people choose to nurse over the potty. Some people choose to delatch their baby, put them on a potty. But for me, I chose that she must nurse, and I will say, if I can hear that she's pooping, I will say, okay, you're pooping now, make the poop sounds, and I will wait for her to delatch. And once she has delatched herself, then I will take diaper off and put her on the potty. This is because breastfeeding is more important to me. Of course, if nursing over a potty is not like a hindrance for your breastfeeding journey, then you're prioritizing both. But for me, I don't want to breastfeed over a potty. And that might change based off of what she likes to do. But for now, I just wait until she delatches herself, then I put her on the potty. I don't care if half of it is in the diaper and half of it is in the potty. I believe that it's still important that if we hear them doing it, not to just sit and watch and be like, oh, pooping in the diaper. I'll be like, okay, you're pooping. I'm gonna take diaper off and put you in the potty. Those are not the words I say because I speak to her in Afrikaans. That's just an example. But still on the topic of poops. With poops, there's a bit more time than with a wee. With a wee, it's a very short time period to try catch it. It's like, I want to wee now, okay, wee. But with poops, typically a big, like, obvious sign that I don't feel like enough elimination communication people speak about is if she farts. If she farts, that's usually a pretty good indicator for me that now's a good time to offer potty. And even if she doesn't want to poop, simply putting her in that squat position is probably going to help for the gas anyway. But most of the time when she farts, it means she also wants to poop. And it's the beginning stages of poop. With poop, there's also kind of grunting sounds and pushing happening that is not happening with wee, because typically people don't have to push wee out. So with poop, sometimes it might be immediate, like as in she grunts and then straight away poop. But more often, it's the case that I've got time to get her onto the potty. Then, to be thorough, let's quickly talk about wee. Wee's a roller coaster. Sometimes loads of wees in the potty, other times very few wees in the potty. And with how she's developing and changing, I just find that that one is very important to be aware, still stay consistent, but really it's not a big deal for me if she's not weeing at this age in the potty. I'm just going to stay consistent, and I believe that through that a habit is building. And on the note of habit, I mentioned this in my newborn one to say just stay consistent and the habit builds. If Elba needs to poop and in the morning or whenever I put her on the potty, my hands are on her rib cage now when I hold her, I can literally feel that she will push. If she doesn't need to poop, she won't push. But the habit is that she kind of knows now on the potty, if I want to poop, then I can feel her stomach muscles working for the push. Right, next up is the topic of ease. As I did in the newborn phase, I still do it now. We use a bum towel and the potty wherever we are. The potty goes with us, the bum towel goes with us. If I don't have a bum towel, I just use a flat diaper. We just make sure that these things are going with us. This part of doing it wherever might change now for us. As she becomes more aware of her surroundings and where we are and where different things happen, I am leaning towards soonish, the more mobile she becomes, is a potty station or moving pottying to the bathroom and moving it away from where she sleeps in particular. Because currently we still potty on the bed. I'll keep you updated in the next video when I've made changes, but I didn't feel like I needed to make that change in the 3 to 6 month phase. Oh wait, no, I did once try the bathroom. So in the newborn one, I did address this. We potty in the potty. I don't hold her over the basin or in the bath or anywhere else. This is what's worked for us. But then the other day, I wanted to try it out and I put her potty on top of the toilet and I put her on that. She was just so excited that this was this new environment of sitting on the potty that it was more playtime than anything else. When to take them off the potty. I take Elba off when she starts to look all around and the world has become incredibly exciting. That's usually an indication she's not going to do anything. I also take her off when she's trying to get off, like when she's flinging herself or just indicates that she wants to get off the potty by moving her body. I take her off. I do not hold her on the potty when she's unhappy about being on the potty. Getting anything in the potty for me is not important enough to bypass respecting that she's communicating that that is not where she wants to sit right now. I also don't do anything to ease her fussing on the potty. If she looks like she wants to get off the potty, if she looks like she's unhappy on the potty, I'm taking her off the potty. We don't use a pacifier in general, but I also don't follow the advice of saying, oh, if your child looks fussy in the potty, give them a pacifier and then you'll catch something in the potty. I am much less concerned with catching something in the potty and much more concerned with respecting her communication. Elimination communication for me is the respect of her communication. So if she's saying she wants to get off, even if I think that she's going to poop the next 2 minutes or in the next minute, I'm taking her off because that's what she is communicating. Also, potty time for me should not be a space where she's getting upset. It is a happy place or a relaxed place or a neutral place. It's not an association I want her to have that she's going to be unhappy there and I'm going to make her sit on the potty. Next topic, the sounds. Now here we were not consistent. Newborn phase, my husband started with some sounds. I tried to do them. We didn't really like them. I don't know, but we weren't consistent with the sounds. We are now though. And again, this is where I maybe tried to do what the book said, but the sounds didn't feel like natural communication to me. I also wasn't intending to speak Afrikaans to Elba, but then it just sort of happened. So now we are consistent with what we say, even though my husband is English, he does his part in Afrikaans. Oh, that reminds me, that was another reason that the words from the book didn't feel all that natural. When we were doing pa for poop, it's a little bit too close to papa, which is like dad in Afrikaans. Ooh. So now when I'm offering potty, do you mind if I do this? I'm gonna do it with the diaper on now. I'll put her on the potty. Elba, opi potty. Peri pipi, peri poo poo. Psst. She's not gonna go now. She's very happily eating her cup. But essentially, I'm asking her, does she want to wee? Does she want to poo? And then I make the sound because it's like a universal sound that makes sense to me. And then when she is pooping, whether it's in the potty or not, I will say, Elba poo poo, Elba poo poo. And then if she's pooping in the potty, I tell her, Elba poo poo, opi potty. Or if she's weeing, I'll do the same thing and say, pee to her or ps to her, just to indicate that those are the sounds we're making. When she pees in the potty, I will say to her, Elba pipi in potty. So I'm acknowledging what she's doing in the potty. In the 3 to 6 month phase, she doesn't make any P sounds that I'm aware of. What I mean by that is her mouth is not making pa kind of sounds. She does make M sounds, so we'll see at what point she starts making sounds that resemble P. So one of the challenges we had in the 3 to 6 month phase that we didn't have in the newborn phase is at some point she just decided that the world is so distracting that she's no longer going to breastfeed in public. And when that happened, the same time we noticed she stopped using the potty in public as well. So in the newborn phase, she didn't care where we were. If she wanted to potty, she was going to potty in the potty. There could be people around, there could be noises around. It wasn't distracting for her. Also, she would breastfeed wherever. Suddenly, we went through a phase where everything was very distracting. So for about, honestly, like 2 months, I would have to go somewhere else where it is quiet and peaceful and free of distractions for her to breastfeed and also for her to potty. When we were out and about, this typically meant that I would go to the car, and that worked for about a month, but then also the car became very exciting. This was a good lesson in just going with the flow. I would still, same as I would offer the boob, I would offer the potty. And just for context, she's exclusively breastfed, no bottles, no pacifiers. So there wasn't like an alternative source of food that she was getting if she didn't want this. With the potty, I would just offer it. And if she didn't want to, I trusted that if she does want to, she will. Another thing that was different from the newborn phase until now is during the newborn phase, I would change diapers at night and I would potty at night. I don't necessarily do that anymore. During the newborn phase, if she wriggled, that meant she wanted to be fed or she wanted her diaper changed or she wanted to go potty. Now she wriggles a lot in her sleep. That could sometimes mean any of those things. But also it's not as clear as it used to be in the newborn phase. The other reason I don't do it at night anymore is because now I don't want to disturb her sleep. Whereas in the newborn phase, she would sleep through a lot of things, whereas now her sleep gets disrupted a little bit easier than it used to. So typically, I don't change her diaper at night anymore or don't potty her unless there's an indication for me to do so. And I shared this on my Instagram a few days ago. So Elba sleeps through the night. But just to be clear, she's still very much nursing in the night. She just doesn't wake up to do it. So we breast sleep. I will cover that in a whole other video surrounding safety and the benefits and all of that. But we breast sleep. So when she wants to feed, she just rolls into me, lifts my shirt, and she will nurse and then go, well, I don't want to say go back to sleep, because she doesn't even open her eyes for that whole process. She's only ever woken up, I think, 3 times in the night, usually for some or other good reason. And then in this week, she randomly woke up at 1:30 and was swinging her arm in my face. And I was so tired and so confused because, usually this doesn't happen. In my groggy state, I was a little bit slow to react to realize that she wanted to go potty. And she randomly this day poop at 1:30 in the morning. So I did miss it in my half asleep state, but I just think that it's so amazing how she woke up, tried to get my attention, and then only did she poop when I guess she gave up because I was a bit slow. And yeah, I get haters are gonna say that's a coincidence, but in the entire duration of Elba, she's only ever woken up in the night 3 times. In the newborn phase, she used to wouldn't even say wake up fully, but she'd still poop in the night. After the newborn phase, this was the first time that she had pooped in the night since she was 3 months old. So again, I'm just trusting her. If she needs to go at 1:30 in the morning, she needs to go. Anyway, breast sleeping does enhance our elimination communication journey. It's also covered in the Go Diaper Free book, just to cover some of the safety aspects and how to do it safely. But one of the main benefits with that kind of sleeping is being very much in tune with your baby. The only reason that I was in a deeper sleep now, relative to the newborn phase when the sleep was pretty light, is because she sleeps deeper, even though now when she's disrupted, she'll wake up and she won't necessarily immediately go to sleep. Also, this way of sleeping is very much being in tune with your baby. Okay, that's a complicated topic, so I'll cover that more in a different video. Moving on. Potties. I do recommend a minimum of 2, especially if you have an upstairs and a downstairs house. I actually think that ideally I would want to have 3, but I don't feel like purchasing another one. So we're gonna make 2 work, and it did work up until this point. If I had a 3rd one, I would put it in the car. But yeah, I've got my downstairs potty and my upstairs potty. I just think that it really helps you with elimination communication if it's something that is easily accessible. Next one. If you go through a phase of having loads of misses, don't panic. I had some times when people are like, how's elimination communication going? And I'm like, ugh, what am I even doing? And then the next week I would be like, I'm a pro at this, all the catches and so forth. So again, don't let it be outcome based. But a tip that I will say, and something that I implement for myself, is that if I have a bunch of misses, don't panic about it, but I do evaluate, is there something that I maybe need to change? Because the one thing that I did realize is that Elba develops faster than me, who has never done elimination communication before, because this is my first baby. My sort of changes come about. So she leads and I follow. I'm not necessarily preempting changes as she develops. I'm more following her lead. Not that there's a right or a wrong way. This is just practically how it's happening for us right now. We pretty much go through phases where she kind of develops and then I'm a bit thrown off and then I catch up, but that's fine. I just reevaluate if I've got a bunch of misses and I feel like she's had a lot of changes going on and it's time for me to maybe change things up and do them slightly differently. Next topic. So many people start their elimination communication journey at the 3-4 month mark. And I've seen a few people say, oh, they tried it for a bit and then it was tough and they stopped doing it. And then they kind of tried it again, maybe at like month 8 or month 9. This is why I'm a big advocate for starting the newborn phase, because I really believe that the newborn phase was the easiest one. And that this one is a bit more challenging because they are awake longer, they're going through a lot developmentally, they're doing a lot more than just sleeping, nursing, peeing, and pooping. And it helps if you built up that confidence. But what I want to say, if you're watching this video, right, I just had to do some diaper and potty time and I changed the camera angle so that Elba can be free roaming here. Anyway, if you're watching this and you did not elimination communication in the newborn phase, I'll again say just start now. Even if you're doing it part-time, even if you're just doing it a little bit, just start as soon as possible. I honestly think that each phase comes with new challenges and maybe there's gonna come a time that it's easier. Maybe when she starts communicating, verbally with me, then it might become a little bit easier. But right now I'm still finding that Each new development phase brings on new challenges. So start sooner rather than later. And even if you're missing everything, I do suggest just continue at least doing the offering of potty maybe in the morning or when you're changing diaper, and those are the only times that you offer potty. If elimination communication is something that you want to do, but maybe it's feeling like too much pressure, or maybe you just want to kind of dip your toe in it, that would be my recommendation. Now with her getting more mobile, I really have to be worried with what is close to the potty. At this point, she is picking up anything that is near the potty, and oftentimes that is her diaper. And I have to be worried that she's gonna throw herself off the potty. Each phase is really special and really beautiful, and I'm having fun with the new challenges. All right, I need to start wrapping this up. Keep doing it and keep enjoying the process of parenting with your baby. When things don't work out perfectly, just laugh it off and move on from that. The other day, I offered potty in the morning and she hadn't pooped, and I just kind of thought that she would do her morning poop soon, so I put her on the absorbent mat on my bed, kind of waiting for it. Like I said, when poops are coming, you have a heads up. And I was texting my mom about Elba, ironically, and I kind of heard farts and grunting, but I was just like, oh, I'm gonna finish texting and I'll put her on the potty. Anyway, I was a bit late to putting her on the potty in time, and when I looked, she had pooped on the absorbent mat, and because she moves a lot more now, she rolled, it went everywhere, it was all over her feet, and I was home alone, and I was trying to keep her from putting her hands in it because her hands go in her mouth. And so it was like one hand trying to keep her from doing that and getting wipes or something to clean it up with. All right, just tended to Elba, but let me wrap up this video. Point that I want to make is, who cares? Who cares if there's a bit of mess? Who cares if you miss some things and they don't go in the potty? I think the important part is you're connecting with your baby, you're trying to understand their communication, you're evaluating what you're doing, you want to make changes. If and when appropriate, we're not panicking, we're not stressing about it, we're having fun. Parenting and being a team with our babies, I think, is the important part. And we're relaxed because I think when we're relaxed, they feel relaxed about it, and we don't want to put pressure. And all in all, I'm just always going to advocate for, we're doing elimination communication to communicate and listen to our baby's communication and connect with them. So for me, that looks like the things that I described in this video, which might look different from how you will do elimination communication with your baby and what works for you. The next video that I do on elimination communication will probably be 6 to 9 months, unless you've got a whole lot of questions, in which case I will make another elimination communication video addressing all of that. Thank you for watching today's video. Let me know in the comments below if you do have any questions on what I shared, and please remember to subscribe if you want to see more of these videos or my other videos, and like this video if you like this video.